Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Nikki and I love to cook, and today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipes. Super simple, super easy. I have a toddler and I can do it, so can you. So if you want to find out how to make the chocolate chip cookies, just keep watching. So for the chocolate chip cookies, these are the ingredients that you will need. You need 2 sticks of unsalted butter, or 1 cup softened at room temperature, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 eggs, 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips or a 12-ounce bag. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm using Mexican vanilla blend, a half teaspoon of salt, and in here I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda that has been diluted or is being diluted with 2 teaspoons of warm water. So the next step is I'm going to cream together the butter and sugar in the blender. I'm going to set things up and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'll be using my standing mixer fitted with the paddle attachment. If you have a handheld mixer, it works fine too. I'm going to start by creaming together my butter softened at room temperature with my sugar. So I'm adding in my butter, my sugars, and I'm just going to cream that together until it's nice and smooth. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn my mixer on low, and I'm gonna add the eggs in one at a time. And just let that mix. I'm gonna stop it, and I'm actually gonna scrape the sides of my bowl with my spatula just to get everything moving around, make sure that everything is getting nice and combined. And I'm going to give it another quick little go. Now while it's going on low, I'm going to add in my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Where's my teaspoon? 1 and 2. And I'm also going to add in my half teaspoon of salt. My half teaspoon of salt, and my 1 teaspoon of baking soda diluted with 2 teaspoons of warm water. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in too. Once you have all of this combined, we're going to start adding in our wet ingredients. So again, I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl, make sure that everything is nice and combined before we start adding in our dry ingredients. So now I'm going to add the 3 cups of all-purpose flour to the wet mixture. I'm just going to add it a little bit at a time. And you'll see it start to kind of come together, bind together, more like a cookie dough. And this is why I'm using the paddle attachment and not the whisk. The whisk would be a nightmare because you're just gonna have the cookie dough stuck in there. For this, you definitely want to use a paddle attachment. If you're using a hand mixer, that's fine. Just scrape it out. If you want to use a paddle for this, a spatula for this, you can use it as well. And just fold in your flour. Obviously, it's going to be a lot faster with your standing mixer. And as you can see, it's just slowly coming together to more of a cookie dough consistency. And that's what you want. And I'm going to just add the last of the flour. Okay, once you get to this point, you don't want to overwork the dough anymore. So we're going to stop it. We're going to use the spatula to clean out our paddle attachment. And once we do that, we're going to start folding in our chocolate chips. So I'm just going to clean this out. It's messy. You can use your clean hands to get as much of that cookie dough off of your paddle or your spatula. Okay, so I'm just gonna clear up this area. And now we're gonna take our bowl, scrape the sides of our cookie dough, just like this. And I'm gonna get actually a wooden spoon for this because that spatula is not going to make it through. So I'm switching to a wooden spoon for this, just because I don't have the best spatula right now. And I'm gonna slowly start to fold in the 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Just turn and slice right through, and that's how you start folding them in, making sure that every part of your dough has some chocolate chips. Go ahead and add the rest. And just continue folding, folding until you're happy with the way that your dough looks. Now, to get your oven ready, while you were mixing the batter, you could have already gone and preheated it to 350. So if you haven't, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to line these up on a cookie sheet. You can use parchment paper, or you can just place them on an ungreased cookie sheet. You're going to spread them out and bake them for 10 minutes. And remember, with cookies, don't wait until they're too brown in the oven, because once you take them out of the oven, they do continue cooking for a little bit, so you don't want to burn them. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my little cookie scoop, and I'm going to prepare the pan to start setting them up and putting them in the oven to bake. You want to take your cookie scoop. If you don't have a cookie scoop, go ahead and just use a spoon. Use your hands. Well, not your hands, because your hands are going to get all sticky. But I'm going to be using a cookie scoop. If you have an ice cream scoop, it works the same. So you just scoop a little bit of the dough, and you want to place them about 1 inch apart from each other on your cookie sheet. This one needs a little bit of help to get out. That was a bad one. Here you go. Remember when I told you that you can use a spoon if you don't have a cookie scoop? Cookie scoop just broke. First time using it. So we're gonna use a spoon. We're going in with a spoon. Same. Scoop it up. Drop it down about 1 inch apart. Scoop it up. Drop it down. If they're not perfect, guess what? Homemade things aren't supposed to be perfect. That's the beauty. It's not made in a factory. It's made in your house. It's made with love. And trust me, when people taste what you're baking, when people taste what you're cooking, they're not gonna be worried if they're not all the same size. So these are a little bigger, not a problem. They're gonna bake just the same. Keep them about 1 inch apart just so they don't stick to each other as they expand in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and finish filling up this cookie sheet and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so once you have your cookies lined up in your cookie sheet, you're gonna have a lot of leftover cookie dough. You can go ahead and freeze this, but once I put these in the oven, I'm gonna show you something else that you can do with this, which we've tried and our family loves. You can make a cookie pie with this. Put 2 or 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream on top, drizzle a little bit of caramel, and trust me, you're gonna have everybody drooling at the table. So let's go ahead and put these at the oven. Put these in the oven now that it's preheated. So you just put them into your oven. Actually, I'm gonna put it this way. And you're gonna bake them for 10 minutes. And I'm gonna show you what they look like after 10 minutes. So this is what my cookies look like at the 10-minute mark. I'm actually going to give them about 1 to 2 more minutes in the oven because they're not as brown as I want them to be quite yet. Alrighty, so this is what the cookies look like when they came out of the oven. I actually left them in for 12 minutes, not 10. They weren't as brown as I wanted them to be. Just keep an eye on them. Don't let them brown too much, but you do kind of want them to look like that. They've already flattened out a bit because they've been out of the oven for about 1 or 2 minutes. Now let these cool, and then you're going to transfer them over to another plate or another container, wherever you're going to store them or serve them, and then you can go ahead and bake your next batch. So for those of you that want to try out the cookie pie, I won't be making one today. I'm just going to go ahead and bake the rest of the cookie dough and just make a few batches of cookies. But if you want to make the cookie pie kind of like a pizookie, you can just grease this with some butter or some nonstick spray. You can use Baker's Joy, you can use Pam, I've used it before. You can just use regular butter. You put the rest of the cookie dough that's left in here, as little or as much as you want, just to line the bottom of the pan. Put it in the oven at 350, just like you did the cookies. Just keep an eye on it. Once it comes up, once it looks nice and golden brown, take it out, let it cool just a little bit. 2 or 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream on top, a little drizzle of chocolate syrup, caramel, serve it. Eat it right out of here, or you can cut it into little pizza slices and serve like that. You're gonna love it, trust me. Shout out to my awesome cameraman, who is also my husband. He's gonna try the cookies and give his honest, non-biased opinion.
Non-biased at all. Oh my God.
Good, huh?
The only way you're gonna find out is to actually make it.
Guys, they literally taste like a cookie that you get at the mall. You know, when you're walking through the mall and you smell that chocolate chip cookie smell? They're fire. They're the best. You like them?
Look at all that chocolate.
Yeah, it's really, really gooey. Yeah.
Look how soft it is. Pull it. Oh my God.
So good. Try them. Let us know down below if you like them. Right?
Delicious.
If you make them and you like them, don't forget to let us know. Like the video and subscribe if you want to see more yummy, yummy, yummy recipes. Right, honey? Come, say bye.
Bye, guys.